Hey, Chris Jenkins, credential member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, aka Man of the People, coming to you with a little late night recap as the Carolina Panthers are preparing to take on the Seattle Seahawks this weekend here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hope everybody's having a good holiday. Uh, the eve of Christmas Eve is upon us, so want to get you guys up to date as I always do. Shout out to Rory Blake, sitting here patiently waiting in the waiting room for me. How's it going, Rory? Appreciate you supporting the channel. So let's go ahead, without further ado, get you guys up to date on what has happened with this Carolina Panthers team. So we had some transactions that took place today. Put it right there up on the screen for you. That transaction would be that we signed cornerback Michael Reed to our practice squad. And the reason that we had to sign Michael to our practice squad is because we had a player get picked off our team. Kalen King was signed by the Cardinals, and that means that we needed to make a corresponding move. And again, you see right there that corresponding move. Due to King being picked off for our practice squad, was Michael Reed being signed to our practice squad, a cornerback. So that's the latest transaction for you. We also had some news today. Oh, you know what? Let me backtrack a little bit. I owe you guys an apology. Bad information was given to you yesterday. So we were talking about our Let's Talk About It show that we do the day after the game, and we were talking about who you guys wanted to see make the playoffs. I'm sorry, the Carolina Panthers play in the playoffs, and everybody was saying San Francisco 49ers. And I want to talk about just how difficult that would be. Now, here was my error as I was making these real-time calculations, talking to you guys about that, is that I did not realize that the San Francisco 49ers had not yet played their Week 16 game. So my calculations were based on where they were, and I'm like, they're not going to catch them, not realizing they actually had 3 games to do so, not the 2 games to do so. So please forgive me, but I want to be reputable for you guys and own up to that mistake and let you know, as of right now, they would play the San Francisco 49ers if the playoffs were to start today. We'll keep talking about it each week after the completion of each games, or next week I'll do a better job of knowing whether or not they've played as I talk about the possibilities for it. But again, the Carolina Panthers would be playing the San Francisco 49ers at home here in Charlotte if the playoffs were to start today. Of course, they don't. We play the Seattle Seahawks this week, and then we play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week. And it still holds true in terms of this week's scenario for the Carolina Panthers to clinch. If they want to clinch this week, then they need to win this Sunday versus the Seahawks, and they need the Dolphins to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Or we could tie, but as long as we don't lose and Tampa Bay does lose, then that would be how we clinch this week. Let's go ahead and talk about the Pro Bowl. I had this graphic that I shared with you guys just yesterday. We had a couple of guys, 6, that were in the top 10 for Pro Bowl voting. As you see here, led by Jaycee Horn. Well, folks, ladies and gentlemen, on this list right here, the only person that made it was indeed Jaycee Horn. But we're going to give him a round of applause for what he did in making that accomplishment. Having a career high in interceptions. Man, I think he had multiple games where he had 2, right? And Derek Brown did make it. Derek Brown was disappointed about it. His teammates said they were shocked about it. Derek said, hey, they still going to have to deal with my beep every Sunday anyway. So, you know, that bodes well for us this Sunday as we take on the Seahawks, that Derek Brown is going to be trying to send a message that, hey, Canales says championship opportunity each week, but there's certainly some edge that could carry over for certain guys, just like Mike Jackson, who was previously with the Seahawks. So you have a few guys that could be playing with a little extra chip on their shoulder this weekend, and none of them will be scoreboard watching. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. I think it's going to be impossible for some guy out of the 53-man roster to not look up there and say, hey, this is what's going on with Tampa Bay. So we'll see how that pans out. And let me give a few shout outs since Rory has jumped on. We've had Judith jump on and join us, as well as Mint City Matthew. Hey, Mint City Matthew, what's going on with you? Haven't seen you on here before, Mint City Matthew. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Enjoy your stay. Uh, let's go ahead and get you the rest of the information as the Carolina Panthers again are preparing for the Seattle Seahawks. So another error I mentioned yesterday was that the next time you see me would be Wednesday, but didn't realize they shifted things so the guys can be off Thursday for Christmas. But officially, injury reports do not come out until Tuesday. So I'm sorry, until Wednesday. So I don't have an injury report for you today. Robert Hunt was on the sidelines today, warming up. Icky still doing his thing. No official declarations there. So tune in tomorrow for sure to get the absolute latest on the injury report as the Carolina Panthers prepare to take on the Seattle Seahawks. One other thing I want to backtrack to, again, going back to this graphic here for your Pro Bowl, we also had Derek Brown, who finished third officially. Now this, ignore what you see on here because this is yesterday's graphic, so I'm going to tell you that Jaycee Horn made the Pro Bowl. Derek Brown did indeed finish third, and Tedero McMillan and Rico Dowdle are both fifth alternates. Again, running back Rico Dowdle, wide receiver Tedero McMillan are both fifth alternates for the Pro Bowl this year. So there's still a chance. There's still a chance for some of those guys. We had both Dave Canales and Bryce Young speak with the media today. Not too many takeaways from it, but one thing I do want to share with you guys was a comment from Dave Canales, who I continue to like how he's coaching this team, and the fact, one of the things that I like about him is how he's learning on his second year as a head coach. So, last week against the not the Seattle Seahawks, come on, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we didn't run the ball that much. We actually threw the ball more than we ran the ball. And that's okay sometimes. That is okay. And I'm going to let you guys listen to why, to Dave Canales explain why that is okay sometimes.
The place it normally is in this game.
Just take what they give you. And I know I want to run the ball in some way, shape, or form on a weekly basis. And when we get good matchups and we feel like we can take advantage of things in the pass game, our guys have continued to grow in that world so that we can do that. And points are points. And wanting to get the ball into Rico and Chuba's hands is a priority of mine. Sometimes that happens in the pass game with screens, getting the ball on the perimeter. It could be a check down in a pass concept that we feel good about, flooding a zone, different things like that. The easiest way is to turn around and hand it to them, certainly. I love having that be a part of our game. We were in a mode where we were still going for it. There wasn't a 4-minute situation. And, if you want to talk about the number of touches, a lot of times if you're playing with a significant lead, you're going to see more runs at the end of it, So good things happen when you run the ball. You run the ball when good things happen. It works both ways, and it's a part of who we are. I know I want to have that physical nature, let the linemen get their hands on people and fill those combos and just play a little football. And that's always a part of the early part of our plans, is to make sure that those guys get touches.
So there you have.
He's still a pretty young guy. Just watching him from draft prep and seeing on tape, how has he been able to have such an impact so quickly? And just what kind of challenges does he present?
He's an intelligent guy. We had him here for a visit and got to spend some time with him. He's right down the road in South Carolina, and we had a great visit.
All right, sorry about that. Had a little technical difficulty trying to come back from that. But there you have Dave Canales talking about, points are points. You have your ideal ways. You have your thing that you want to do, but you got to go with what they're giving you, and that's what's putting points on the board. I like that. I like that. So, again, I just want to share that content with you guys. Again, tomorrow the Carolina Panthers will be back at practice because they will have off for Christmas Day. We'll continue to bring you coverage, and then we'll be back Friday, continuing to bring you coverage as this team gets ready. And then I like to say, please set your reminder. Do not forget, the best pregame show there is covering this Carolina Panthers team is live here on Charlotte Vibe every game day, 2 hours. No, I'm sorry. 2 hours before kickoff. It's an hour-long show, interactive with you guys. So hope that you'll check us out. And, for the home games, Rashad from Panther Nation Podcast is my co-host, joining me on that one. So that's always a lot of fun. Thank you all so much for watching. What's up, Underground West? What's going on, Blake? Who? And Rory had to change laptops. Back who? All right. Hey, thank you, everybody. Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe.